Good morning, distinguished student.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Joseph, you're welcome. Nai Joseph, you're welcome. Just about 3 of us. Let's wait for some few minutes for other students to join us as we begin the lectures. Kindly ask them to join us as we do the needful.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sir.
We will be starting in a jiffy. In a short period of time, we'll be starting. So already 6 minutes past 10. In the next 2 minutes, we begin our lectures. We'll begin our facilitation. We'll begin the business of the day, and we'll do the needful. Very distinguished student, Nai Joseph and Joseph Odu. Thank you for the second day of the lecture. Here we are again. Thank you. You're welcome to our facilitation for the day, SST 702, Advanced Social Standard in Rehabilitation at the Institute of Procurement, Environmental and Social Standards of the Joseph Sawantaka University. I'll be taking the course with Dr. A.L. Obademi, and I am remain, just like you know, Dr. A.D. Teran, your course facilitator. Remember, we started yesterday and we're going to do justice today. Everything accordingly. We introduced the course Social Standards in Rehabilitation, Advanced Social Standard in Rehabilitation. And we do say that rehabilitation has become a prerequisite for achieving inclusivity, creating awareness, improving the standard of living, that of the economy of any state, nationals, and be it globally. The rehabilitation is one of the basic criteria that is used in judging a society, building a state, and doing everything to ensure. We do also appreciate and inform you yesterday that due to abnormalities, due to challenges, due to basic issues that we have in the society, such as disability, it has become very necessary for us to do embark on rehabilitation. It is based on that the Institute of Procurement, Environmental and Social Standard, with the Sustainable Procurement, Environmental and Social Enhancement Project, SPES, National University Commission, in conjunction with the Joseph Sawantaka University, came out with this very, very important course. And we do define rehabilitations as a kind of form that is multifaceted. The rehabilitation is multidisciplinary. It is not just multidisciplinary or multifaceted, that it is a kind of word that's multifactorial. combining a lot of factors, a lot of professionals that is versatile, dealing with a lot of issues that will bring about virtually development, and we those need. We also give a historical background of disability. Before the 19th century, hitherto people with disability were locked up in the houses. They were not just locked up in the houses, they were perceived as, oh, this set of people, they are not useful, they are not relevant, they are not anything. But presently, we have whereby we know that, oh, it is very, very important that we need to rehabilitate them. We need to look at the basic issues. We defined disability yesterday. We look deep how it is, how it has to do with any impairment, anything that would distort, that will enable you to function optimally and efficiently is results as disability. We look at the different forms of disability, disability of be it physical, be it emotionally, be it mentally, be it in any one form or the other. We look at various forms of disability. We also look at some basic concepts of rehabilitation, where we look at restorative rehabilitation. We look at what we call, basically, we look at preventive rehabilitation. We look at palliative rehabilitation yesterday. We look at some pictorial, how important, how people are assisted in one way or the other, how importantly they are. We also look at how we have causes of disability ranging from war, ranging from communicable diseases, ranging from malnutrition, female circumcision. We're able to explain why most of these causes are still there and how some of them are hereditary, transferred from parents to their offspring or to their children. Traffic accident was looked upon as one of also part of disability, work, civil unrest, communal crisis, casualties of violence, etc., etc. We look at how the deep disability structure at the local government, at the state, and the federal level, enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as Act of the Parliament, where it has become necessary looking at the 2018 or 2018 Disability Act that incorporate is a kind of framework that have all that we need to know about disability. We look at how disability is black and white. This can affect anybody, be it you're an international person, be it a scholar, be it depending on your color. It does not know whether you are a fair person, you are a black person, you are an albino, on all of that. Disability can affect. At any point in time, we do emphasize that it could happen to children, even unborn children, right away from their conception from the womb. There are some that are born with disability. We discuss all of that. And then we look at how basically all the disability has associations. They have the disability of the association of the blind, the deaf. We talk about albinism, where this is led by Gia Capellen. We also look at type of disability. We'll discuss that. The effect of disability was one of the basic issues we look at in terms of limited education, unemployment and poverty, and accessible structures, discrimination, and we do look at the concept of rehabilitation we mentioned. We look at the definition of World Health Organization of rehabilitation, which discussed that, oh, if rehabilitation in that kind of concept is to assist individuals who experience, anybody that's experienced or is even likely to experience disability, that kind of persons is achieve or refer to that kind of scenario as likely being informed. We will talk about basic various form, we mentioned that, and then we look at the rehabilitation outcome. We were able to look at the misconception about the ranges of rehabilitation, how it's been done, how we think that, oh, this superior part of the rehabilitation has to do with the white or the men. We went further to look at the type of rehabilitation therapy, where we look at occupational therapy, we look at the speech therapy, we look at who need actually occupational therapy in the kind of situation. We're able to also look at some speech and basic issues and how they could be gone on. Today, we'll be looking at what we discuss as the principles of rehabilitation. And I will go back to Nai Joseph. Nai Joseph, you will be able to read the first concepts of slide there, what we have on the slide there, and before I go into explanation, the principles of rehabilitation. Over to Nai Joseph.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, principle of rehabilitation: promote adaptation, emphasize abilities, treat the whole person, time, educates, people-centered care. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And now when we look at the principles of rehabilitation, just as read by Nai, we were talking about rehabilitation that promote adaptation. What do we mean by rehabilitation that promoting adaptation? The rehabilitation is able to make you to understand, to adjust. It's able to make you to understand, to be able to adapt in a situation you find yourself. Say, for example, if you are aging and you got to become a senior citizen, you're one of those special senior citizens at the age of 60, 65, 70 and above. For those that God has been able to bless them to live up to that age, especially in developing countries, you need to understand, you need to accept the basic realities. You need to look at the basic issues in the sense that, oh, it is no more business as usual. Rehabilitations for children will also enable them, wherever in terms of accident, in terms of workplace abnormality, in terms of war, in terms of communication, in terms of communal classes, in terms of displacement, we should be able to adapt. And in rehabilitation, we adopt the principles of what we call adaptive management. Adaptive management is prominent in rehabilitation, using different skills, different situation, any kind of situation you find yourself. Assuming we have done with stroke, assuming we are done with spinal cord, assuming you are done with an economic rehabilitation, assuming we are done with a kind of social form of rehabilitation, you cannot be able to mix where we are not able to mix or do some certain function. You need to do what? Promote adaptation. It's able to teach you on how you can be able to adapt, even in terms of using some basic assistive technology. You have to use anything like wheelchair or clutches and all of that, it helps you. And then rehabilitation emphasizes abilities. It emphasizes abilities, it teaches abilities, and how you can be able to go with some certain situation. Most of the time for correctional centers, in where we have like people who are inmates in the prison, they are able to teach them some certain skills, and they're able to emphasize that you must be able to have one ability or the other for you to cope with some certain situation. It treats the whole person. Rehabilitation will look at you, it treats you, you look at your psychological setting, your psychological experience, it looks at even your emotional experience, what you are going through, it looks at your financial aspect, it looks at your social aspect, it looks at your structure. And then the time, trying to look at the principles of rehabilitation, time is very, very, very precious. We try to identify, look at how busy you are, how we can be able to do early diagnosis. You're able to identify and diagnose a situation, you discover that, oh, you can be able to handle that effectively. The principles of rehabilitation also has to do with time. Time, the service is very important. Time is everything in life, since from the time we were born up to now. And then above all, we should also know that rehabilitation is people-centered. And that takes me to community-based vocational rehabilitation, where I'll be asking my friend here, where is Joseph Odu from the next slide? Joseph, please, can you be able, what kind of community-based vocational rehabilitation do you see in pictures there? Identify the type of rehabilitation you have seen there, and let me know your observation or opinion. Joseph Odu, the co-host. Today we have Joseph Odu. Nai Joseph. Joseph Odu, are you there?
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
yes,
sir.
I'm here, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Am I to state the
type? What kind of community did you observe from the picture before we go back to Dende Amos and Elizabeth Bonga and Doga Jaffetcom? Okay, Joseph, Bashi Lawa, what can you observe from?
Oh, wow.
Hello, Joseph Odu, are we there? The network seems to be fluctuating. Okay, Bashi Lawa.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah, Bashi, what Joseph Odu is asking you to help him out.
Okay, sir. The first picture from there,
Yeah.
I'm seeing a therapist rehabilitating a disabled person. So, and the second picture, there is one person pushing a woman on a wheelchair. So, and the third picture, I saw some people in the community helping people with disability, like maybe they are pushing them, they are trying to push them on the wheelchair. And the fourth picture there, I have seen like, so I cannot interpret the fourth picture.
Okay, you cannot interpret the first picture. At least you gave it a very good thoughts and a process. We'll be coming to discuss all these pictures, look at them very quietly. In rehabilitation, sometimes we will only give you pictures. And the next thing we'll ask you to discuss, to be able to how you be able to use your oblongata, how you can be able to use your effectively, how you can be able to look at basic issues. We will try to look at how, if you see, you are able to see some drugs there, the pictures we are able to do, some people that need some help, something is written like a help, where they are able to have basically trying to do some basic issues. We will look at all of that, how some people in the course of this, we refer to as substance abuse, or they're abusing one way or the other. We also try to look at, exploring what we now call, exploring the scope of community-based rehabilitation. Exploring the scope of community-based rehabilitation refers to the services, the program that is designed to individual who has experienced something like trauma, who has resulted into kind of in an impairment that create a kind of loss, be it that loss may be physical, that loss may be psychologically, it may be social, it may be vocational. The aim of this exploring this community-based rehabilitation is that, to aim is to restore, not just to restore, where we cannot be able to restore, we compensate, where we cannot compensate. In rehabilitation, we prevent, where we cannot be able to prevent automatically, just like we would show you various types of preventive rehabilitation. We will be able to do what is known as, the intellectual, mental, or cognitive, or social. Then an individual to reach an optimal level. In terms of optimal level, we're talking about performing your function maximally, functioning efficiently. Then that is all we need about community-based rehabilitation. This rehabilitation may the community, you have a lot of experts, you have a lot of people with experience, and experience, they say, is the best teachers. We have a lot of people that also have practical experience. They try to restore, they try to help you, and we need to know very well that the community-based rehabilitations works with the government, they works with the NGOs, they works with, just like we defined earlier, it is multifaceted, multidisciplinary, multisectoral, and all of that, combined for us to achieve. We look at vocational rehabilitation, and we ask, what is vocational rehabilitation? Then let me go back to who has not spoken this morning to be able to tell us, Joseph, Doga Japhet has not spoken this morning. Doga Joseph, Japhet, Doga, please read the slide, what is vocational rehabilitation, and you tell us your insight about what is vocational rehabilitation.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, class.
Good morning, Doga.
Vocational rehabilitation, VR. The program helps people with disabilities get and keep their jobs. Vocational rehabilitation VR help people with physical, psychiatric, and learning disability find and keep a job. VR helps you identify job goals based on your interests and skills and explore college and vocational training. It also reduces or remove barriers to employment. The VR program is funded by federal government and administered through the
Massachusetts
Rehabilitation Commission.
All right.
What I can deduce from this slide I have just read is vocational rehabilitation is tilted towards towards developing a skill for a group of persons or developing a skills for a particular vocation. My understanding further is for those who are into industrial, who are into production of items, production of goods.
Yeah.
We have the artisans who undertake skills into plumbing, that is into those in building sector, plumbing, electrical, and a host of others that are related to that. So this vocational rehabilitation, the vocational rehabilitation streamlines the rehabilitation to various vocations around and within this kind of sector. So the rehabilitation is stated at if people who are working with irons, those who are working with cement, and the hazard or disaster that may affect them should be rehabilitated. Rehabilitation here, I think what I'm trying to reason is to looking at the preventive measure is to kit them with those things that even if they walk around that place, they may not be harmed. They may likely be harmed or not be harmed, because when you use a safety boot in a factory, then you're using that to prevent yourself against maybe electrical shocks or rods that may pierce an ordinary boot that is not safety inclined and cause you injury. So this is what I try to understand about.
Thank you very much, Doug, for your contribution, for your insight, trying to talk about vocational rehabilitation. I'll go back to the class governor, Elizabeth Obonga. Elizabeth Obonga, can you give me 5 examples of vocational rehabilitation or vocational skills that can be taught?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry for joining the class late. With my little understanding, some of the vocational...
You join late. You're always joining late.
Sorry, sir. It's not my fault, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Okay, some of the skills that...
Yes.
Fine, sir.
Go ahead, we can hear you. The only place your speaker should mute. We are hearing from the class governor.
Okay, some of the vocational skills that can be attained by the disabled, we have soap making, we have beads making, and we have even fashion designing, because there are machines that may not be used with legs. They use hands to use the machines. Then we also have even makeup, people that does makeup. Then we, sorry, sir, I think these are some of the examples I can actually hold on for now.
This is a participatory class that the joy is that everyone must participate. You must say something. So let's go back to, you must be able to say something. In one way of the other, it's a kind of a participatory class, and it's necessary for us to say something. So let's go back to we're trying to see who can be able to see where we can have something here. Moral. We talk about abilities, disability getting jobs through vocational rehabilitations. From Joseph, from drug adjustment, we talk about plumbing, electrical works, to down going back towards the class governor, say Elizabeth Obonga, from makeup, from bees. There are lots of vocational skills that needs to be taught. If you look at what slide 1 is saying is vocational rehabilitations via programs of disability get and keep them their jobs. If you are able to have some of the skills to embark on some of this, probably you'll be able to do the basic, and then the issue of job, or where we have issues of job, will be a thing of the past. So it's very important for us to embark on all of this. It was very important to us to be able to handle basically and handle all of this that we are trying to make sure. So we have to also help to identify job skills. We help to based on your own interest, skills. We have to ask them. For most of people that are down with one element or other, one think that they can be able to participate, what they think that is very, very important for them to be able to do, we will be able to get them to be able to know and do something accordingly. We talk about next issues on the slide is that what as the importance of vocational rehabilitation. What are the importance of vocational rehabilitations? And we'll say the aims of getting people to get back to their society. So anybody that is have one challenge or the other, vocational rehabilitation will help you to go back to the society. It will make sure that social rehabilitation is designed to help people program acquire skills and support. And some of these skills are some of the skills we are talking about. It could be driving. You see a lot of people driving no bike. It could be skills. Driving is one of the skills. We could also talk about people like cyclists, where we have what is popularly known as Okada. If they have skills, people that are physically fit and all of that, they can be able to do. Shop, people in electrical, makeup, we mentioned a lot of them. And then it's also helped them to develop confidence. By the time you have something doing, you have confidence, you can be able to do something very well. And then you can be able to develop confidence, you can be able to have a kind of support, community-based rehabilitation, or with the kind of what development strategy that is aimed to enhance the quality of life of the people with disability and their families. It enhances the quality of life, it enhances your ability to be able to do something very well. So it is very important that, ensure that inclusion, not just inclusion and participation in community activities. And I do, we always mention that we talk about mind is said, we'll turn to a kind of a workshop. We make sure that, everything should be able to do. Current forms of skills and acquisition that are useful for self-employment in the formal wage sector. And let me see the kind of skills we have there. And I'll go back to not just from the charts, let's see who will tell us the kind of skills we have there. Then the Amos, which kind of skills? Mention 2 skills that you saw from the pictures there. Then the Amos, you didn't speak yesterday, today you are around. We hope that you will be able to contribute. Are you there?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning, sir.
Okay. So mention the 2 or 3 skills that you have seen in the picture there. Yeah.
Oh,
my friend Demos.
I can see driving.
Driving, very
Yes,
good.
sir, that's what I'm saying. Good morning, sir.
Good. Apart from driving, what else have you seen again?
Secondly, I see dispatch rider.
Dispatch rider, very good. Demos.
Dispatch rider.
Mm-hmm. There are forms of rehabilitation.
Kiosk.
There are forms of rehabilitation that Joseph Odu could decide to just rehabilitate some young men, buy cars for them, engage them in Uber, engage them in as dispatch rider. Which other thing have you seen from there? Let me ask from go back to
kiosk,
9. 9, you have seen a kiosk. They're very good. Very good. Who can identify some other?
And the phone accessory shop.
Phone accessory shop. If you want to speak, please, you can raise up your hand. When you raise up your hand, we'll be able to identify you and phone accessory shop. Thank you very much, Jenny Amos, for identifying driving, dispatch rider, kiosk or shop, and phone accessory, all of these. They are forms of rehabilitation. We can be able to rehabilitate an individual depending on the type of skill. Somebody could be down with disability, but he can be able to sit right in his shop there and make sense. If you remember, if you look around town, there are some persons with disability, but we see them embarking on empowerment, embarking on one rehabilitation, embarking on one skills of the other to be able to help them and help themselves. Now, who can mention some other skills that we need, that we can be able to use into cognizance? We mentioned some of them in the pictorial there, and so how many of the other ones do we have again? Who can mention 2 other ones again? Anybody? We don't have any other skills available. Are we there? Japheth, are we there?
Yes, sir. We have skills like soap making, cosmetic, and
cosmetics is one of them. Soap making, we mentioned that, very good. You remember I gave you many of them, there are more than 20. And we gave you this slide. You have them. We start with it. Just glance. But we want everybody to be able to communicate. You can be able to be in a slow space, ensuring that you understand. And where you have any questions, you can be able to let us know on how it should be done, so that we'll be able to do everything accordingly. So that's one of the reasons why we're here like this, ensuring that, oh, Yeah, hello. Hello.
We can hear you, sir.
Yeah,
So
I,
we can
I,
hear
I, was, I was thrown out. I don't know whether it's Nai Grace that threw me out or Elizabeth Obonga or the network.
No, sir.
I don't know that. I don't know whether it's Nai or Elizabeth Obonga that threw me out as we finding my
No.
way to be back. We're trying to talk about the importance of skill acquisition. The importance of skill acquisition cannot be emphasized, and in Nigeria, for you to be self-reliant, for you to be self-employed, you must be able to have skills. We talk about that for skill acquisition. It is very, very important in rehabilitation that we know that even for people who doesn't have any challenges, no people with all, we need skills. It's one of the skills we discovered that the contemporary issue we are discussing now, that even graduates, for most of us, graduates, even with masters, PhD at a certain level, if you don't have skills, there's nothing for you. If you travel elsewhere shows, there are some basic issues that you need to do. You must be able to have skills. Through skill acquisition, through entrepreneurship, through reliance, and financial empowerment, you can be able to help a lot. We're trying to look at how a skill can be defined, and there's the ability to do something that will be able to ensure like training and experience. Skill acquisition, on the other hand, involve developing a kind of a new skills, and not just new skills, practicing a way of doing things that we usually get training where you can be able to. The type of skill that can be acquired through include, we mentioned them, and I was like every day, no, that was what I was trying to ask, to know whether you have glanced through, whether you have gone through, whether Nai has been able to touch this knob, whether Elizabeth Obonga just kept it to one side and just rushed and came here, and all of that, we will also drop it one side. Because I put a lot of answers inside the notes. I saw a lot of skills that we can mention from there. And I'll go back to ask who to read the last part of the slide there. Yeah, let me ask Obonga again. The class governor, list the last part of the type of skills that we have here. The type of skill that can be secured, acquired. Can you read them? Who can be able to read those skills there? Because I want us to know them. Yeah, Bashi, please. Hello, Bashi. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, read the type of skills that we have there.
Okay. So the slide is showing importance of skill acquisition.
Yeah, just the last line. The last one.
Okay, the last line.
Yeah, or point.
Okay, the last point. The type of skill that can be acquired through our trainings include hairdressing, fashion designing, tailoring, etc. Mechanic electrical repair of GSM handset, wristwatches, air conditioner, etc. And entrepreneurial, open bracket, small scale business such as operation of coils, buying and selling of spare parts, restaurant, etc.
That is keys. We need, depending on the kind of disability the persons have, depending the kind of, we just gave example that many of them nowadays. Nowadays, you can use artificial intelligence. You can talk about cyber security. You can talk about digital learning. We can talk about photography. It's a skill. We can talk about cooking. We can talk about getting a restaurant irrespective of the gender. We can talk about many skills that we can be able to operate, depending on some of the disability. We have one best photographer. This guy is the best one, but one of his hand is amputated. But this guy discovers it here in Abuja. It's a popular photographer. You can see his skills is helping a lot, and he has, can I put it, is a millionaire. Can be able to challenge whoever if you think that, oh, so there's a lot of ability in disability, depending on the kind of skills that you have. And these skills are very important. In rehabilitation, we emphasize skills. You must be able to teach skills. You must be able to, for you to be empowered, you must be able to have skills and all of that. By the time you are able to do that, that is when you can be able to do and all of that. Is skill acquisition of very any importance? Skills acquisition of any importance? Yes, it's very important. And why do you say it's very important? It's very significant because skill is important in the life of any displaced person, in terms of displacement, in terms of refugees, in terms of challenges, in terms of disability, in terms of having one even employment. And we say that the reason why many technicians, they earn more than university graduates, the main money of them, look at when you move to site now, they are technicians, they are technologists, even the university where we are. If you see the kinds of cars they are riding, the kind of houses they're building, the kind of electrical equipment they're using, the kind of handsets, it is not Yahoo, but basically with their skills, you can see that, oh, they have basically with them and they can be able to work where very well they were in the universities. What we have in the universities there is just be able to know that. So we know that, oh, skills are very important. You can be able to do that. You can take those with disability to places. You can move to king palaces. You can move to even anywhere where you begin to form. Some others is installation. Some others is plumbing. All you need that way, plumber can get inside your bedroom, right inside your kitchen to be able to fix things. And then I have one that's around my area that's been able to help. There's a lot of one of the best plumber we also have around. But I will purposely try to patronize. You can embark on some certain issues, a lot of them that we don't necessarily need and all of that. And that will be able to improve the kind of living. The truth remains that the major causes of employment among the vibrant youth, among those with disability, among those with one issues or other, is simply because of skills. And I pose to ask, they remain that the major causes of in developed society. When you travel, we embarked on conferences in 2023. When I was in Tainan and in Taiwan, doing some study tours in Japan, I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot of things is that although the experts, they're not concerned with your title. They don't know whether you are Professor Bashi, Lawa Wunti. They will not understand that, oh, this is Dr. Joseph Odu. They are not. They will want to know your skills. And it's shown to them practically. Practically, if you are not involved, no, nothing is concerned. And they will push you to a certain level that you must be able to see your skills and you must be able to display, even when you are normal. Just yesterday, I was in a meeting in Thailand, in Bangkok. Bangkok is in Thailand. It took about 2 or 3 hours online. And I was forced by the team of those people's professors and academics to be able to show my skills, the skills of both in terms of doing a lot of technical issues. You use a webcam, so they are observing you. They want to know that you were able to have 1 or 2 skills. Nobody is assisting you. Nobody can be able to get into assist that, oh, this guy's no. Especially in Nigeria, especially in developing country, where we have a lot of challenges. Nobody's looking at certificate any longer. I enjoy you for those studying social standard in rehabilitation. You should begin to learn skills. And at this point, I begin to ask everybody now in the class, apart from Joseph Adu, everybody must answer this one. Apart from schooling, which other skills do you have? Let me start with myself. Apart from schooling and being doctor, I have a lot of skills. I'm a driver. Apart from being a driver, I'm also a barber. Apart from being a barber, I can also be able to so let me go back to Joseph Odu, to Bashi Long. Joseph Odu, apart from this, which skills do you have? Mention 2 skills you have, apart from schooling. I'm working in the office.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Joe.
Yes, apart from schooling, I can make this window glasses, Alumaco.
Oh,
this aluminium.
Please give Joseph Joe do one, bossa. That's a very good one.
And I can make soap. I can make this balm rub.
That is great. That is what this course asked me to ask. All of you must mention 2 or 3 skills. Let's move to Doga Jaffet. Doga Jaffet, which skills do you have apart from being in academics, apart from working in the office? Mention your skill, Doga Jaffet. When we finish, we'll come to Bashi. We'll finish, we'll go back to Obonga. Everybody must be able to tell me 1 or 2 skills you have. When you don't have, I'll tell you what the course says you should be able to do. Yeah. Doga Jaffet, which skills do you have?
Hello, sir.
Yes. Yes. No, be sincere. Just be very sincere. We take this thing very serious. If you don't have, let us know. There's a reason why this course is designed.
I have.
Okay.
I can do painting.
Okay, you can do painting. Painting is very good.
Yeah.
Apart from painting, what else again? At least 2.
Apart from painting, I don't do any other skill.
Okay. Can you farm? Do you go to the
okay,
farm?
Farming. Yes, I'm into farming.
Okay, very good. You are trying. Okay, let me go to Bashim. Chief
Yes,
Bashim, tell me your skills, at least 2.
Sir, I'm a good counselor.
Yes.
And I can sew clothes.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, and I'm into farming too, sir. But poultry farming.
Oh, I'm a farmer too. Very serious one, so that you guys will know. Okay, yes, let's move to Dandy Amos. Dandy Amos, what are your skills?
Okay, sir.
Yes.
I can make hair, women's hair.
Okay, you can make hair. Very good. Oh, Platin, that is very good. It's one of the best. And in special, I hope that some people here will patronize you. Okay,
I
let's
also
go to
cook.
Okay, you can also do what?
I can also cook very well.
Oh, that's very good. Cook. Event center, event planning, event cooking and delivery and all of that. That's all very good. Okay, let's go to the governor, Elizabeth Chobonga.
Yes, sir. I can drive.
Yes. Oh, very good. Driving as in taxi. Oh, this one we're talking is not your personal driving, private driving.
Okay, sir. Okay, that's aside. I can cook.
Yeah. Okay, very good.
I'm a
very
baker.
Good.
I'm a decorator, interior decorator. I can make soap, liquid.
Interior decorator, soap making. This is a
then
wonderful baking. Oh, that's very good. So this is a wonderful class for advanced social standard in rehabilitation. Just like we say, when we talk about all of this, there are skills that aside from all of this, it can be things that you can be able to survive on. So we are encouraged in advanced social standard to have at least 1 or 2, 3 skills. It could be tapping. You may be a very good tappist, that you tap very well. It could be, in modern days, analyzer, where you can be able to analyze your data analyst. You will discover that very soon, for most of you that will be doing your project, when you get to chapter 3, we're going to chapter, you need a person to analyze your project, to be able to interpret your analytical tools, be it regression analysis, be it stochastic frontier production model, be it whether cost of illness model, and all of that. You may be able to know. If you know that, you can be able to fetch money for yourself, treat yourselves. So it's all actually the kind of things that we encourage to use skills teaching in rehabilitating a lot of individuals. And it is one of these reasons. It is based on this curriculum. So based on these studies, it's based on this course that we recommended that most people that you see in prison, we see what we call in the correctional center. They are being taught a lot of skills in carpentry, we talk about barbing, hair making, blocks industry. We talk about all of this. We recommend, based on, we give them a dictionary, they're up to more than 100. You look at it, please choose 3 among those ones. If you can be able to choose 3 among from all of this, we can be able to know. So we encourage. We discovered that some graduates are still in school. The instead of learning with at least 1 or 2 skills, they may be related to computer card, designing, we'll talk about graphics, tapping, electrical maintenance, and others. They have the skills at all. The rate of unemployment is just increasing. If you look at the unemployment chart, the percentage surge in unemployment is getting high as a result of lack of skills. Some were busy, even instead of school. Some are busy species of the individuals at home, watching 1 or 2 from, oh, I forgot Nai Grace. Nai, you tell us your skills before you contribute again. Nai Grace, your hands is up.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Okay, in the aspect of the skill,
Yeah.
Event organization, public speaking.
Very good.
Organic farming.
Organic farming.
Buying and selling.
Buying and selling. That's good.
Yes, then strong bargaining power.
So you who have bargaining power, you're a middleman, agent.
Then strong bargaining power and community outreaches.
Or community outreaches.
Thank you
Okay,
so
want to score up more of motivational speakers that can be able to speak in an event. It's also a skill, and you are being paid. You talk about what you call 90,000 comedians. Some people, do we have any comedian that is in this class? Governor, do we have any comedian? He said, High Excellency.
Hello, sir. Yes, sir. We have one, but he has not joined us. Samson Enyi.
Oh, Samson Enyi. Hey, you would have been able to just entertain us with one skills so that we can continue with our skill acquisition. Tell Samson, hey, we are missing him here. As I've not attended any of my class. I saw him on the list I'm having here. Actually, he has not attended. I've not seen him. Even our Sophia, I've not seen her yesterday. She has not. And even someone, please tell them to be able to. Stella is not here. Mary Kwange is not here. I know all of you. Each steps we came in, we take attendance. And just like I was with Dr. Bidemi when she joined me yesterday, that most of us here, we were able to record. And that's why by the time you see, and this semester, it will be more meticulous. The other semester, though, we're taking it as a kind of welcome ceremony. So a lot of things that we tolerated, this semester will not be taken into cognizance because you are my friends. That's why I try to tell you the truth. And I try to let you know in time so that you can be able to, we don't want to embark on some certain kind of rehabilitation to you. You should be the one rehabilitating the society. The importance of skill acquisition. A skill that can be used in opening door. It's just like a key. It can be used in opening doors anywhere you go. Water is very essential to human life, just like the skills. Skills is a very essential in the life of a serious-minded individual in terms of rehabilitation. We don't joke with skill. Skills is very, very important that we need to do something about it. We look at that as one of the most courageous and very, very important. When we also skills can do a lot of great work in the life of soul. Lack of skills, major cause of corruption. Major cause of you're giving something, you don't know how to do it, you have to look for someone. Even in academics, now we are having people, even among students now, they don't want to learn. Just for you to learn, you give even assignments, you produce, you look for somebody to do it for you. It remains more that you'll be looking for somebody to write exams for you, where you can be able to, you need to learn all of some of these skills. It's not a kind of rocket science, it's not difficult. You will come, you are very capable. It's just for you to sit down, calm down your mind, and a rehabilitation skill acquisition is topical, it's very important. The importance of skill acquisition include employment. They include, apart from employment, include diverse job opportunity, employment generation, effective functioning, and crime reduction. The saying, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So let's look at self-employment. And then we call on Bashi. Bashi, won't you read the importance of skill as in terms of self-employment? You look at that slide and you explain to us how skills can be able to help us to be self-employed, to be self-reliant, and we will become an egalitarian society, a society that will be proud of, a society that will increase the standard of living, a society that will rehabilitate almost people in our family, in our community, in our state, and even in Nigeria. And over to my friend Bashi Lawan Wonti to be able to read this very slide and explain to us. The next slide will be read by Nai Joseph.
Okay, thank you, sir. Number one, self-employment. A skill-acquired man is a self-employed man. Yes. The P you are reading right now is written as a result of the skill acquired by the writer. So point number one, there are so many self-employed writers today who do not bother themselves of carrying files from one office to another in search of job. Their duty is freelance writing, and they make great money from their writing. So what this self-employment regarding to writing as a skill is telling us is that, for example, let's say someone like maybe the VVIPs, that's the very, very important person, like let's say the president, the vice president, and other dignitaries in the country. So they can hire some that maybe have a skill of writing to maybe write.
You call them speech writers. Each governor has a speech writer, president has a speech writer. Even my friend, Doga Joseph, this is a big man. He has somebody that's his own PA that writes for him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that speech writer is a skill. So whereby that dignitaries can hire them as maybe when they are going for a certain maybe town hall meeting and other things, they can write a speech in order to address the public for them. So the point number 2, many successful businessmen and women whose names are heard in many parts of the world are self-employed.
They will tell you the rest.
Pardon, sir?
Go ahead.
Okay, so this point number 2 is telling us that how so many people is telling us about the people that are successful in business. For example, let's say like Aliko Dangote, Bua, Otedola, they are all successful people in businesses, whereby their names went globally in the world. They have been heard in each part of the world. So point number 3 is a self-employed person can never go hungry, because the skill he acquired provide food for him on daily basis. But once he lacks skill acquisition, will find it difficult to be self-employed because he has nothing to do. So with this point, I will cite example with our class governor. She is a fashion designer and she has so many things like baking and other things. So every day she used to go to her shop. Maybe she has some work to do and people will be sending her money like in a day, maybe 3 times, 4 times. So she used to get a lot of money every day. Her pocket will never go dry. So unlike someone that don't have
governor, capacity governor.
Yes, sir. Unlike someone that don't have any skill, he is maybe a government worker and he will be waiting for money at the end of the month. So this is what I can say. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And 1.5 bossa for Bashila Wanwanti. Bossa. Boss.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And then the next skills we were talking about, the next slide will be handled by Nai Joseph. Nai, you tell us about jobs opportunity as one of the skills. Well, how does skills help in job opportunity? How will it help us to help when with all of that? Nai Joseph.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity.
Yes.
Okay, diverse job opportunities.
Yeah, read the slide.
Have you ever seen someone who acquires many skills alone? Company A, B, and C stand in a queue, fighting over one person.
Yes.
Many football clubs fight over star footballers every football season.
Yeah.
Some football clubs like to have star footballers like Cristiano,
Yes.
Ronaldo, Portugal, Lionel Messi, Argentina, Rodney, England, and many others because of excellent football skills that they possess. Some of these footballers are accused of being Illuminati members. But what keeps them going are their skills. They do not search for job, but job is searching for them. Just imagine the power of skill acquisition. Okay, what I understand here is that when you are very good in what you do, irrespective of your religion, people would actually patronize you and you will be recommended by those that patronize you to many people. So it makes you
Very good.
limitless. It makes you limitless, and also your association, because the high and mighty will associate with you, and then people will easily like you because you have quality, you have value, you have something that you can give to people that makes them happy. So you bring joy to them.
Correct.
So as a result, you are someone that is sought after because you are good in what you do, you have excellence in what you do, and then you deliver timely. So this gives you an advantage. Just like the example here that talks about many of these star footballers that are into
Yes.
Freemacy, Illuminati, which is a cult, like devilish worship, and all the religion of the world, especially the major
The
one,
many people think they are
Christianity.
into Illuminati. It's not actually Illuminati. They are not in the world. It's their skills that's making them. I'm feeling that they are into all of this. In social
Okay.
rehabilitation, is we are not pastors, so we don't religious. Begin to look at this as Illuminati. Go ahead.
Okay. So irrespective of maybe where they get the motivation and inspiration, people are willing that are not even from England, that are not even from the particular place where they are, but anywhere they are, they are just in love with this person's um excellent skill delivery. So they are just glad, and they can fight anybody because of that particular person that they've not met, but they are captivated by the person's skills. So skills remove barrier, like excellence in skill actually remove barrier, and it give you access to everybody. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, Nai Grace. That was a robust. That was a wonderful contribution. We appreciate you for that. We try to interact. We try to all of you to share your ideas in advanced social standard and rehabilitation. And that reminds me, we are going to welcome Chidima Logawara. Chidima is coming in for the first time. He's just since we started this lecture. And she will welcome us. She will be welcomed by telling us, reading the next slide, and telling us the importance of skills in employment generation. Chidima, you are welcome, and you lead the slide, and you welcome us by telling us the importance of acquiring skill in employment generation that we can even use as a kind of a rehabilitation measure. Over to you, Chidima.
Hello, sir. I may not be able to go that dynamic because I think kind of concerning an I.
Because we want to measure you. You know why I have to do that, Chidima? You know, some will just log in, and for you to make sure that you are inside the class here with us, I have my way of testing you or finding out and see whether you just log in and you are performing or you are doing. If you are actually having an organ of eye, you will write in the chat box. You respond to us for us to know. Otherwise, we're giving in marks. We are taking in attendance. How we take it that you are not in the class with us? Let me move to the next person that can do that. It's our way of checkmating and doing that. Stella and Gofan, you just came in a while. You read the importance of employment generation as part of skill acquisition, which can be used in rehabilitation, and explain to us, just like Naya Joseph did. Over to you, Stella.
Good morning, team.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Stella.
Okay, I'm reading.
Yes.
Enjoyment generation.
Yes. Employment.
Employment generation. Many governments are still finding it difficult to provide jobs for the citizen because the citizens are lacking important skills they need. Someone who is well equipped in electronics repair can train his fellow citizens. When these citizens mature in such field, they start earning from the skills they acquired from their master. This is how the newly trained in that field will train other persons. And employment generation keeps on growing.
Others attack you. So let me concentrate on my class. Maybe I'm a
Joffa, dog, and mute your speakers.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Can you explain what you understand by employment generation? Or how can skill help you to generate employment?
Yes, it will help in the sense that these days, even if you are a graduate, for example, many people that are graduates are still Okada riders. That is, to me, is a skill that they have acquired by riding that motorcycle and earning a living.
Very good. So, waiting for the white collar job.
Yes, while waiting for the white collar jobs.
Yeah.
So it helps them develop themselves while waiting for the white collar jobs.
Okay, and you were not
for
here.
Like people, for example,
mention which skills. Mention 3 other skills that you have as an individual, student of advanced social standard rehabilitation.
Like furniture, pinches.
Be sincere with us.
Sir?
Tell us the skills you have. Everybody has tell us his skills. Which other skills do you have as an individual?
Okay. I am into, I have computer skills. I'm very confident
computer skills, very good.
Yes. I've developed myself in PowerPoint and I'm very good at Excel.
Very good. Very good.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. We try to do this as a part of assessment in this class. Please tell others that they are not with us. If you think we are joking, I keep on repeating. This semester will not be business as usual. It must be based on your input. It must be based on your participation. For other courses, I don't know. But for a fundamental course, for a core course, like SST 702, Advanced Social Standard in Rehabilitation and Sustainability, you must participate, you must contribute, you must make input in part of this as this one is concerned. Otherwise, you may find yourselves, I don't know what may happen, but I don't want disability to occur to you. And we will keep on emphasizing and we will keep on trying to engage all of you as time goes. So in social rehabilitation, in advanced social standard, in rehabilitation generally, we invite a lot of skills that can be able to help you to acquire jobs, to be able to employment generation, to effective functioning. Organizations that employ skills assist their organization duties to lose nothing because they will always be effective functioning. They perform for the employee. When you have some certain things, you cannot be looking for some certain people to come and help you to do some certain things. You can be able to do them with ease, while others are finding it difficult to be able to do. For those with the disability, for those with one issue or the other. That is why the same displacement, the same disability, the same issue that the person has, another person may be managing it better than the other because of skills. And when we started with the principles of rehabilitation, we said with these principles of effective adaptation or adaptive management. You can be able to adjust, you can be able to find yourself, just like Stella was able to tell us, that for graduates, most of them that are graduate and they don't have job, they have the Okada skills, most of them are surviving, they are feeding their family. And I can assure you that for those of us in rehabilitation, let me make it clear to you that for most of those people, they are earning more than civil servants in Nigeria on grade level 9, 10, or the middle class. Because what they can get in a day, as we are now, if they tell you that, oh, not many, how many people can be able to make 10,000 in a day? If you say, there's a lot of people, it's not how many can be able to make 5,000 a day? If I'm making 5,000 in a day, in the whole of 14 days, how much are you making? It's just 50,000. For 30 days, it's 150,000. How many people are collecting 50,000? Or these people you see with these skills, in a day, people that have computer skill, Elsa, they have shop, they have tapis, like Stella did. In a day, they tell you how much they make after deducting doing their business. For people that are like the governor, who says it's a multifaceted person that's versatile and doing a lot of business, what should we make? At the end of the day, you may not be able to have skill to do all of that. So we teach this in rehabilitation. We make sure that the people have, even those people you see them where you have a lot of people here water that will displace. You go to international market, you go to most of these skills. As expert, as consultant, most of the time teach them how to do. They should be know how to make soap. If they are able to make soap at those camps where they are displaced, where in terms of challenges, they can be able to use them. If they can be able to make palm oil, if they are able to make palm oil, once they get the palm kernel and all of these basic things, they will be able to do. Will they be able to make all this groundnut oil, all these basic things? Can they be able to cook? Can they be able to supply ingredients? Can they be able to barb? They don't know how to barb, must be. In some other places, let me tell you that skill acquisition. If you move elsewhere where you travel to some other part of the world. I have traveled whereby in certain part of the world, in some country, if you want to barb, but just for you to barb or to shave, for us of those of us that have a lot of hair, you discover that for somebody to barb you just about 30 minutes in other places, it's about 30 or 40,000 when you translate your money. I've come across that on several occasions where I travel in Europe, when I travel in the United Kingdom, where I was able to be in some part of Asia. You see all of that. It's the skills. If you have those kind of skills, you can be able to barb yourselves. Even in the paramilitary, you can be able to do all of that. Even in Abuja here, some part of Metama, when you move to Asokoro, and some other parts of where I work in those places, there are some places that, oh, for you to barb, it's just about 2,000, others 1,500, and all of that. These are skills. Rather than staying dormant, rather than being, because you have one challenges, you have one disability or the other. You will contribute to the society, you will be contributing to the gross domestic product, you will be contributing to the gross national product, and thereby contributing to what we call the export. And that will be, our export will increase, increasing the balance of payment and raising the standard of living, including the purchasing parity of the nation. That will be very, very important. So there are much difference between studying a particular course in the university or colleges, training that course, and inside, and having skills that be able to do. You could be an individual, you can be a pilot, and some of them, they cannot be able to. They went to the school of aviation, but they cannot be able to be a pilot because they don't have skills. You also have even in terms of even art and humanity, where you see some, even in the academics, some people who in all of that, they have not been able to acquire some basic skills to do some certain things like they do. So they do. And that takes me to move to crime reduction. Let me go back to crime reduction, effective skills, and the next is what we call crime reduction. And I'm looking for who will be able to tell us the importance of all of that. How can the scheme, yeah, let me go back to the governor. Elizabeth Ogonga, how can ski help us to reduce crime? You read that slide and you tell us how we can be able to reduce the kind of crime in the society before I'll be able to explain more.
Crime reduction, skill acquisition is the crime rate in many nations. People begin to think of many dirty activities that we do to make money when they do not have anything to call job of their own. But with acquired skill by an individual, he works and makes money from his acquired skill. Instead of engaging in the money acquired by the citizens from empowerment through skill acquisition can be used to promote peace in such nations. Also, the skill acquired by the citizens who were indulging in crime before can be used to convert those who are still partakers in such bad practice. From my understanding, skills acquisition can reduce crime rates because a lot of people, when they have nothing to do, their minds begin to think of what to do to get money. Some will go into stealing, some go into prostitution, stuff like that. But when they have when they acquire a skill, they will not think of those things. Rather, they will think of how to get money from the skill they have acquired. I want to use an example of a interior decorator who shared his experience with us this, and he said that when he went into this declaration, that he wasn't a graduate, and he has traveled wide, that's within the nation, Nigeria, and outside the country. And he was like, what he put in was the passion to learn the skill. And he was telling us that for us to acquire this skill, our passion must be in place. If we have passion for this, we can go even further than him. And he was telling us that whatever we want to do, once you have the passion, forget about the money you are even putting to gain that skill. Money is nothing compared to what you are going to get from the skill you are going to acquire. Okay, coming back to crime reduction, when you have a skill, I want to use myself an example now. For an example, I acquired a lot of skills, not because of the money, but also to impact to this society within me or around me. I go into some of these skills acquisition. Basically, my immediate family, I have children. I can impact this skill into them when they are growing up, for them to be able to for themselves. And then the people around me, I also tell some persons around me that come and acquire this skill. Don't give me money. Just come. This little knowledge, it will help you some days. Moreover, maybe when you are in the university, with this little that you have acquired, you will be able to fend for yourself. Soap making, I have a little that was with me. I taught her how to sew dresses. In fact, I taught her how to use machine, because I have not teach her how to cut dresses yet. So I taught her how to use the machine first. That learn how to use this machine, so that even if your cloth is torn, you can carry it and amend it without taking it to someone to do it for you for money. So with this, the crime rate will be reduced. Our mindset will be on how to get money legitimately.
Thank you very much, Her Excellency the Governor Elizabeth Obonga, for the contribution. Stella, please take attendance. Stella, call the names of people that are in the class. I want to take attendance before we continue. Stella, a bit to call the names of participants that are in. I'm taking attendance.
Okay, sir. Then the Amos.
Then the Amos.
Then the Amos.
Good.
Elizabeth Obonga.
Okay.
Nani Joseph.
Okay.
Joseph Odo.
Mm-hmm.
And Stella.
Okay, thank you.
Bashir Lawan.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay. These are the people that are in the class for now. We take cognizance of that. Please, if anybody thinks that...
I'm also here, sir.
No, she called your name. Stella called your name. Candy, Stella called your name. If anybody thinks that we are joking with what we are doing here, relating, like for some of you that they feel that you don't have anything to do,
sir,
you are idle, you are
sir,
unserious.
I didn't hear my...
She called your name. Stella called your name, and I saw you. 9. So if anybody thinks you don't have anything, you're wasting your time, and all of this, just smile and just laugh at the person. So we'll say when we get there, we'll be able to know. For this semesters, we will not take this kind of things. I don't know, but for SST 702 that we're starting with it, and as the core course, maybe when you need a rehabilitation, you think that all is gone, everything has finished. We'll be able to know. So there's the importance of skill in rehabilitation. The importance of skills in our life cannot be overemphasized. Challenges are kind of issues that have become reality. Emergency, issues like displacement, issues like disasters, just like we mentioned the other time, they are everyday occurrence. We must be able to need rehabilitation in one way or the other in one times of our life. They are ups and downs. And I started yesterday, I was able to answer, how many of us need rehabilitation? It was like, oh, we don't need it, we don't have any challenges, we don't have any disability. So don't worry. With time, when we move this course at the end of this, we'll be able to know that, oh, these are the kind of things that we are able to have. So instead of engaging in crime, they say an idle mind is the devil's workshop, just like the governor was able to say, Elizabeth Obonga. We be able to have skills in rehabilitation. We emphasize skills. We must have skills. We must teach skills. We must inculcate skills. We must also, as ambassadors of rehabilitations ourselves, we'll be able to know. For over some time that our society, there was that kind of a paradigm shift. It was focused on just paper acquisition, paper, or grammar. No, we are shifting now in advanced social standard and rehabilitation on the Institute of Procurement and Environmental and Social Standard. In this course, in fact, specifically, the module asks that if I should be able to tell you that if you don't have 1 or 2 or 3 skills after these lectures today, you should begin to think, you should be able to look, I can be consulted, you can be able to share, you can be able to ask with people here. That's why we ask them their skill. How did they start? How did Bashi was able to know how to sew a cloth? How was this one be able to know how to do a drive, how to bake, how to make soap? You'll be able to do. So that you can even teach those that have one disability. You can even teach your children. You can pass from generation to generation, and we're able to know. China is able to talk about the issue. Japan, ahead of that, when you begin to talk, a country like Indonesia, in Vietnam, is simply because of skill. The world is moving towards skills. And that takes me to what I call the institutional challenge of persons. The institutional challenge of persons is what we'll be looking at next. The institutional care of challenged person. We say, oh, a person that cannot be supported in the community is placed in a kind of institutional care that has skills and resources that can provide his or her needs. When we look about institutional care, is there also about the community not having the skills and resources in providing the care. What are we talking? What are we discussing on all of that? There is in social advance and social rehabilitation, there are some institutional care for challenged persons. For challenged persons, we talk about the elderly persons, age 60, 65 and above, 70 and above. When you talk about to develop society, they say, oh, where is this person? Where is Dr. Teran? So no, Dr. Teran is not in his house again. So where is he? He is in an institutional care. You have your house, you have your bed, you have your basic, your meal is being provided. People look out for you. They are trying to do. It's a kind of rehabilitation. There are some, at least some basic things that will be given to you, not luxury, but the basic that you can be able to survive. In Benue, in Nigeria here, we have very few institutional care, which are part of the NGO, but are now very functional. If you move to judges' quarters, if you ask of I'd many of you may know, there is more institutional care, but it's not well equipped and all of that. They take care of the elderly persons, they take care of all those that have challenges. Remember our definition of disability, any impairment, not just issue of the blind, not just issue of the eye, not just physical disability, but a lot of issues that some may need is that they need counseling. That you can counsel them, you can give them hope, you can talk about them. Then you move to other parts of the country we also have. And at this point, let me ask, how many of us are aware of a kind of institutional care? And how many institutional care do we know? I'll put it to Dr. Jaffet. Dr. Jaffet, how many institutional care are you aware of? Or how many do you know? And what do you think can be done to also improve their rehabilitation status?
Hello, sir.
Jaffet, are you there? Yes.
Yes, sir. I know of the children reformatory home in Obangaji in Boko.
Yes, that is very true.
Yeah, and
we have one in Obangaji, Children Reformational Care or Care Center. There are a lot of care center for children, for the elderly. What do you think? What do you suggest, or what do you think can be done by the non-governmental organization, by the World Bank, to improve such institutional care, to be able to rehabilitate a lot of children or people in the society?
Yes, sir. I think the input of World Bank, those places basically need one, as yesterday we were hinging on advocacy and then awareness. Many persons doesn't know, and they are here to even know the programs that those care centers carried out. So a wider campaign should be carried out by World Bank, and then expansion, likely expansion of those centers with modern tools that may aid or facilitate the learning, the skills that these persons will acquire in those centers.
Thank you very much. Let me give you an expo inside this course, and for many other things you don't know. You know you are my people, so I will always give you expo. One of the reasons why we record these lectures, one of the reasons where we ask a lot of questions for like this course is that if there is any disability, if there's any challenge, like we're facilitating here, the World Bank's record, they look at the lectures, they review, they keep in archives, they try to look at it. And for example, if you fail, they're looking at how do you see were attendance for this day? Were you in the class? Was this person around? Okay, did you participate? We carry out a review. We have some mechanism that can be able to go through. They'll be able to do those within a short period of time. No, they know that Doga Jaffe did, he contributed, and all of that. Okay, why we even ask you sometimes to submit your assignment online and in time. Did he submit? Did he do? Look at his work. When we are able to look all of that to avoid some issue that would lead to that what I call serious rehabilitation. So let us take this seriously. When we do some certain things, you may not know the meaning of it. We're both looking at it, but we just they laugh and say, no, you not just have to play, not just play, but you have to be serious about it. We are looking at you as ambassadors of rehabilitation, and we are hoping that when you're out, you can be able to go out, you can be able to give some words. You can be also in pocket. Most of you are part of the assembly. Most of you are part of the government. Most of you can be able to contribute starting from us so that Nigeria will get better. The next we'll be talking about, we'll be looking at the social standard with refugees and internally displaced person. Social standard with the refugees and the internally displaced person. In social standard with the refugees and internally displaced person, we'll be talking about the rehabilitations of people who are displaced in the IDPs, how this should be done, what are their challenges, what we will be looking at. We'll be looking at the people who have been displaced as a result of political. A lot of people have been displaced as of the political situation. When the political situation is tense, you can see now, I gave you the example of the Palestinian and the Israel. For those of you that are following the United Nations Congress that is going on in New York today, we are in our own country, the president is represented by the vice president. Is in most of he study agricultural economics and sustainability, social sustainability like you are doing here. Then we will look at how people that have been displaced from the religious, from the ethnic or resource-based conflicts, we try to look at the parts of the broader population that needs protection. People need not just protection, that kind of protection that's also referred to as assistance and care by the government and other rehabilitations. We look at that. The board there is herbal rehabilitation. And rehabilitation there is a simple topographical error on that. That should be corrected. I accept it as part of the error, topographical error. And we'll be looking at that. We'll also be asking your opinion. The first response of any and raising a responsible government is that you should ensure that you rehabilitate your government. We'll talk about that in what we deal with emergencies. It's one of the basic ones. We keep on saying and we'll keep repeating. Their responsibility as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is to protect lives and properties. We are to ensure their welfare. And in welfare, number two part of welfare, that welfare comes from rehabilitation. It's rehabilitation. Remember yesterday we were talking about rehabilitation being part of reintegration, rehabilitation being part of reconstruction, where you can reconstruct all that has been perished, all that have been destroyed, all that have been scattered about, all that has been one issue challenges of order. That the reconstruction, aside reintegration, rehabilitation also has to do with reformation of what we're doing, just like we're discussing with Doga yesterday, giving an example of institutional care at Bangaji in Boku. We look at be it the federal or state, a situation where human displacement is a result of conflict, the natural disaster that provides shelter and security, how should be done? And we will look at the focus. In Benue State here, this is what we do. in Benue State and Plateau. The IDPs are scattered in places like Anyi. If you go to Anyi in the local government, in local government, there's a lot of IDPs covered. Go to Bajimba, IDPs. You move to places like Daudu. In Daudu, you have Daudu 1 and Daudu 2. You see some camps there. As it's raining now, where there was rain in this part of the world, those people are still in the camps. We go to all of them in Makodi, in Goma and Logo. You can also move to even what you call the international market, or behind modern market, or Ichua, along the Joseph Salomon Taka University. The record made available by the Medicine Sans Frontier. Note that this is an old record. This record took place around 2022 and 2023. The reason why we have to use that, in rehabilitation, we use with only documented data. It's the one data that's have been verified, documented by the authority that are ought to have done that. There are more and more of these IDPs, which will be asking them more where they need any form of rehabilitation after talking about their disasters and displacement. They are indicated where you talk about the exact numbers. Say, indicated they are not known. That is also a very big slap for us. To ask the exact number of the peoples of the IDPs, because it is increased. 10 policemen were P, others part of security, more than 30 people along a good center along the areas of Batula in Katsina local government were destroyed. They have become part of the IDPs. We don't even have camps. Some were evacuated to Katsina, according to the report we received. Many persons are living outside the official camps. A lot of people that are living outside the official camps, that we see that, oh, they are displaced, but they're living outside the official camps. Maybe some are staying with friends, some are staying with relations, their in-laws, their children, one way or the other. You see that SEMA, this is the State Emergency Agency, official collaborated with the Medicine Sans Frontier. MS is a kind of an NGO, and not just the MMA, you know. They did with, we give some certain assistance. The official number of camps were totally, some of you will be doing your project. We'll be asking you, oh, you in Gwe, in Konde, in Boku, in these camps that are scattered. Remember I told you that the exact numbers, they are not known. The situation keeps changing. And then we also need to have details of them, which other semester have not been living out to expectation. We need to have a biometric capturing of them. We need to have a data. We need to have a basic. I don't know why we are having some technical glitches today. Because of, I don't know, because of the weather or because of the location or the environment where I'm staying today. But we're talking about scale acquisition. We say we don't know the exact number. We're talking about, from scale acquisition, we're talking about social standard in rehabilitation of the internally displaced person. And our focus in Benue, and that's our Plateau. In Plateau State, if you move to places like Bokos, if you move to Brion, you move to Just South, we move to places like Mango, if you move to places like Lantam, there are some of these other that are scattered. Just like when you move to Borono, you move to Borono State, places like Dikwa, places like Chibok. We move to other places like in Adamawa, where you go to places like Gengi, more of the Taraba. More camps are scattered across a country because of one situation or the other. The only official camps put together by the Home Caesar, we have 409,814 displaced persons, as shown in Table 1. We'll go back to Table 1. But that is an old data. For the new estimated data now, we have more than 3,000 or more than 3,000 people, not just 100, that are displaced across between Makodi, Goma, and all of that, moving to Gwe, moving to Agatu, and some part of it, you have a large number. just like you say, most of them are not staying. This is the documented one we have that can be assessed. Others are more than that, they're working on. Some of you can be able to pick up your project topic. You'll be able to assess and tell us how the number we have. SEMA has also provided some facilities in these camps. You know that most of them are just there for habitation. They are able to provide some toilets. Those toilets are just there for some time. So some, for source of water, they have just dig borehole for them temporary. They have clinics where you book some nurse that they are able to take from them. I don't know what is the challenge. That networks keep going on and off. And it's quite unfortunate. But so I was trying to share the slide and we continue. Despite the glitches, that's trying to make sure that we are affected. We said, talking about federal government, the state government, trying to, since the IDP camps were established in Benue, the International Humanitarian Organization bringing a lot of assistance. Recently, we received from the Office of the First Lady, $1 billion was received. The International Office for Migration also did. And recently, the IMU tried to also in one in the international humanitarian organizations have intervention to bring succor to the plight of IDPs in the areas of shelter, providing issues like we talk about all of that can be able to have. And then research conducted by Okasi. Okasi, for those of you that want to know very well, a lot has been done. Professor Okasi is one of yours from Benue here, and Jato showed that there has been a support from both. It's a result that was conducted in 2020. You can embark your own. By the time you do your own research, you can be saying research conducted by Doga or Joseph Odu will be quoting you and will be basing on that. You are becoming authority now in your own area. You can conduct that research. Agencies and public spirited bodies, urgent interventions are needed in areas. They are needed in areas of food, education, health, clothing, access to employment opportunity, vulnerability. We try to look at all that we need to do and we can try to do. Humanitarian crisis faces by displaced persons in the state. We talk about the dual belief that the condition lacks both short and long-term negative effect on the IDPs. Most of these other people, what we're trying to say is that rehabilitation is not properly done for them. They still have a lot of challenges. They are facing a lot of wars, and we'll be discussing and be looking at how ways we can be able to rehabilitate. And then this is one of the camps in Benue. This is one of the camps. From the camps here, this is where the people are sleeping, and we'll sort your opinion. Let's go back to the class, and we be asking, Bashi, what do you think can be done to rehabilitate the kind of people you see in the pictures here? Hello, Bashi Lawanguti. Bashi, are you there? Okay, let's go to Joseph Odu. Joseph Odu, what do you think can be done as a form of rehabilitation measure of these internally displaced persons you see in the picture? Nai Grace. Joseph.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Joseph, what can be done? Yeah.
From what I'm seeing here, I think the tent or the building for them here, they are not much compared to the numbers of persons I'm seeing here. So if the government can increase that, it will go a long way to help them, because I know for sure that some of them may be sleeping outside the tent.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what Joseph Odu is talking about is shelter. That should be able to embark on shelter, increase the number of shelters as a form of rehabilitation that will be able to do this kind of thing. Let me go to Sophia. Sophia, you're welcome. And from the pictorial here, we will welcome you. What form of rehabilitation do you think
Good morning, sir.
can be done to improve the standard of living of those internally displaced persons you see in the picture? What rehabilitation measure do you think can be done to improve the kind of people that have been displaced that we're seeing in the pictures here? Hello, Sophie, are you there? Let's move to the governor. The governor, what can be done, Elizabeth Abonga, to improve the kind of situation there? I want to hear your contribution and that of Nai Joseph in this kind of situation.
Okay, sir. I will want the nature of their, I said the tents they are using is not quite okay for me. Looking at a heavy thunderstorm or a heavy downpour can equally sway this away. So I can say that need a structure, a building, a well structure to put these people for their safety. Because if peradventure, like I just said, a heavy downpour occur, the place will be flooded and these tents can be easily swayed away. That's what I can say, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Elizabeth Obonga. Let's move to Nai Joseph.
Okay,
this is an issue that all of us that we need to discuss on how we can use rehabilitation measures to rehabilitate these people. What do you think can be done?
Okay, sir. Looking at the pictures, we have to consider the aspect of their health. And so maybe if we could have like a clinic and then a more conducive environment so that they don't litter the places with maybe leather bags or some other waste materials like that. So if they could be sensitized, maybe waste bin will be at strategic places for them to dump their refuse. And also
to refuse out. Very good.
Yes, and fumigation of the environment because of mosquito bites. And then the clinic should have adequate drugs, and so that it will be able to cater for the children, for the adults, and for the teenagers. So and every other person, and if they don't have like good water supply, that should be considered good water supply.
Good water and sanitation.
So they don't just consume any water at their disposal. Then also the children should be engaged, like the children should be engaged in a classroom. Classes should continue, like their education should continue in a conducive class where they have desks, they have their writing tools, and they are comfortable. And meals should be provided for them when they come to class and when they are leaving. And also recreational like equipment should be
Do we
in
need to
place.
see skills as well here?
Sir?
Do we need to teach them skills as here? Catch them young?
That's why I said for the younger ones that I'm seeing here, they are actually very young. So they need to be educated. They need to be in the class so that their
Can we
education.
teach, that's text me. Can we teach younger ones skills? Catch them young? It's a question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Depending,
Yes, sir.
Okay,
depending,
Doga, answer that question. Thank you, Nai. Doga, over to you.
sir, depending on their ages.
It does not matter. Let me
Thank
put
you,
it
sir.
across to you, not on their age. The new standard now we are dealing with standard is that one can start acquiring skills. In fact, we start training, even if we are able to start training them even from the womb. The slogan is catch them young. It's that people, you call them leaders of tomorrow. If you are able to see, even I'm able to teach this class one-on-one, I have some movies where I can show you that children of less than 1 year swimming in a swimming pool. Have you ever seen children of just 2 years swimming in a swimming pool? Or just 2 years? Has any one of us seen that?
It's
We
rare,
see
sir.
that on,
What?
see that on video clips, not in
Okay,
practical
okay,
life.
so not practical lives. Good. So I have seen wonderful children of 2 to 3 years. You begin to show them how to even use computers. You're able to learn, begin to educate them on games. So the ones you are seeing there, none of them is less than 2 years. They are able to stand themselves. They are capable. You can be able to teach them skills. This has in the standard now is that when you move to developed society, like the people like me, I'm too old now. Too old in the sense that what we are looking at, that is at the period, is the people that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, in teens that are gurus. They are gurus in the area. Most of you begin to even to see when you are seeing PhD, doctors of 22, 23, 24, 25. Do you think it's rocket science? No. His skills can be treated, just like we're dealing with skills acquisition, this kind of people, putting them. We also know that in rehabilitation, we are outside talking about the basic education. Emphasis is not just on education or paper qualification and all of that. We've seen your contribution, so we've seen your chat where you talk about waters and sanitation, Chidima. That is also true. It was captured by 9 Grace, water and sanitation. Yeah, Doga, just spread your hands is up. You want to say something?
Yes, it's in regards to the slogan of catch them young. You see, even in normal environmental setting, that people are living in estates, it's still important to teach this, to skill these little children. Like the people in IDP, they are prone to, if the children are not adequately engaged, they'll be roaming about. The issue of trafficking becomes very high when those perpetrators of such ill know that these people are living at the mercies of at the mercies of zero or inadequate security. So the activities are around that place more. So when you engage them, just as the governor was saying earlier on skill acquisition, we engage them, they have a lesser time of roaming about, doing petty hawking and other host of other things.
That is yourself. You got it. Petty walking, making noise. In fact, even watching of cartoons. Cartoons are tailored towards kids now. Be able to identify what the children like. All of this. I'm surprised that no one talk about putting up basic structures. Well, you tried giving our situation, so you don't want to be ambitious. We have been viewing center for them. Look at some of them there. Check very well. Look at the ones, the children in logo that you have in camp, and just be able to zoom it. Some don't even have slippers. If you look at some of them, there's one that is in the deep there. It's not even having basic clothing. Even the kind of clothes they're wearing, they're tattered. We love this for you because these are basic issues that we're faced, that we're looking at it, that we look about basic kind of them. Then there are other places they don't even have issues, places where they can be able to defecate. All you need to talk about is the open defecation. They poop, they just poop at the backyard, the water flows, go back, and all of that. In rehabilitation, we take this very seriously. We look at the points, look at in that kind of basic place. How many skis are not available? Look at this kind of place. They had some issues of repressor attack. At a certain point last year, even in the camp, they were attacked. How many security men do you see from where you have here? These people need, we talk about their security. We talk about, do they have security where they are here? You should be able to look at it, check within yourself, and be able to tell me before you do. So there are some basic issues that need to be done when you come to under rehabilitations. We look at the basic things of life, shelter, food, and clothing. Are these people well fed? Yeah, they may be feeding. It may be 001, it may be 101, it may be 0111, and be looking at it. Do they have 3 square meal or balanced diet in this environment? In terms of rehabilitation, we are talking about rehabilitation using malnutrition, where they can be taken off. In this kind of setting, let me ask Governor, Her Excellency Elizabeth Obanga, if you look at the account of these people here, how many of them do you think they have 200,000 or 300,000 or 500,000 in their account?
None, sir. From
just by
what
mere
I'm seeing,
observation,
none of them even have up to 50,000 in their account from the.
Let me inform you that in the whole of local government where you see that camp, there's no commercial bank. There's no commercial bank. I've been there on this store, this picture, some of this other one, the other one you see. So you will not be thinking of, oh, some of them don't even have OPE account, what we call as wallet account. How many of them have gadgets like handsets, Android phone from here? How many of them have access to internet? How many of them have been able to watch new use of smart agriculture, regenerative agriculture? How many of them, all the skills that we're mentioning, it was a kind of a precaution, it was a kind of a prelude, it was a kind of trying to make sure that you are taught to know how you can be able to rehabilitate these people. Now, what we'll be thinking on how rehabilitation can be done to rehabilitate these people in this society. That's what I'm asking. Assuming I gave you an exam that the people that you see in the D campus, students of advanced social standard rehabilitation, what rehabilitation measure will be taken to ensure that you will rehabilitate this kind of people? How many of them there do you think that we can be able to? Do you think they have a standard primary school here, or they have what we call adult education, or would have kind of makeshift secondary school? Is this a camp? If you look at the other one, the picture that you have down there, it's not even a camp. It's a secondary school or a primary school, which means the people that are supposed to be in school, if it is during the school excursion, they will have to be home. Their education will kind of retardation. How many of them would expected to write their WAEC? And if they resume or they register in the places that they were displaced, how can they be able to access or move to the other center if they don't have basic acquire education and awareness? These are the issues that we need in rehabilitation. So rehabilitation is deeper. It's not just aside disability. It goes even to displacement. It goes to the issues of war. All of that we have. For that, we come to an end of this session for now. We'll be giving room for questions. We'll give room for contributions. We give room for comments. But for a recap of those who were not with us from the beginning, we started yesterday, we look at basic concepts, we define rehabilitations, we look at disability, we look at the causes, we look at the type of disability, we look at the effect of disability on the society, we look at the concepts of rehabilitation, various types. Some of them are what we are discussing here. We look at preventive, restorative, we look at both what we call supportive. We went further. We look at how we can be able to use therapy, using the different type of therapy, from physical therapy, from speech therapy, from occupational therapy. We'll be able to tell which and who need one form of other. And we fast forward. We're not talking about the picture we are going to was internally displaced persons, where we talk about the institutional care, where you need a kind of institutional care for all the persons that desire or do so-called need, and where we also move to social standard in displacement and rehabilitation of the internally displaced person. And we come to this, and I will throw the questions ranging from those who are available in the class for now, from Danny Amos, from Doga Jaffet, from Kwazan Sophia, who joined later on towards the end, from Chidima, who is on and off, but came back again to the class, and to Joseph Odu, Bashi, and the governor herself. If there's any questions, if there's any comments, or you want us to continue before we start by 2, you let me know so that we do the needful. Over to you. If you want to talk, please raise up your hand or in the chat. Yeah, Joseph Odu, your hands is up. You have the floor.
Yes. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Joseph.
I just want to talk about this IDP camp. Like the one in, is it Agan after toll gate? I was opportune to visit them from, went there for official matter. And we are to open account for them.
Yes.
Like I discovered that the numbers of the IDP registered there, most of the community, they are also registered as IDP, whereas I say
in
that
the original sense.
Yes, they are registered.
In the true sense of it.
Yes. So I begin to wonder, these people are not displaced, and I don't know why they should be among.
They were not displaced.
They were not displaced, but because they are community living there, they feel that yes, it is their right that they are supposed to be registered as IDP, so that whatever that is coming, they will also benefit from it. So I begin to wonder, why would they behave like that?
Oh, thank you very much for your question. Who can answer that?
I'm here, sir.
I want your contributions. We are chatting. Who can answer? Okay, Doga Jaffet.
I want to make. Yeah.
Yeah, Doga Jaffet.
Yes. The fact is that from his question, yeah, please, as you may see,
Bashi, we see your question, Bashi.
Today.
We are going to answer your question later. You write your question in the chat box. We're coming to it. Go ahead, Joe.
The fact is that most of the persons, as I am here, most of my relations who are resident in those places that are displaced, they are affected by this insurgence or farmers' headers crisis. They are staying under us. They are staying with me. And as they stay with you, the food ration in your house has been shortened. And the provision of your environment, that is the house you have, if it were a 2-bedroom flat, you have to improvise for to accommodate these persons. So the issue of these people being displaced or not displaced, in fact, their food ration, as I said earlier, is shorting, because they will minimize away in a manner that if they have been eating 3 square meals, they will have to minimize so as to carry them all along the year, so as even if they are unable to go to farm, they will be able to feed all through this period. And we don't know when this thing will stop. And as we don't know when this thing will stop, these people doesn't need to be sitting like that in IDP camp continually. Some of them in IDP camp stretch out to go ask for a farmstead from somebody who is not displaced. The portion you use to farm, you have to reduce it in order to accommodate these people. So it's the reason I say, even if these people feel that they should be captured, if there's a way they should be captured. Equally, I used to see that just living in your house, why will you go there? It was until when we started receiving these people uncontrollably, and continually we perceive that if the government of the state or the federal government can take care of all the persons in this affected state, as register them as IDP persons, it will still be good, because it will cushion the effect of how we are living, how we are living in our comfort zone, but
thank you very
turn
much, Dr.
ourselves
Jeffrey. To answer your question straight without wasting time, Master Joseph Adu, the people are not displaced, according to the information you gave us. If they are not displaced, they are not supposed to be captured as part of the IDPs. What they need is what we call community rehabilitation, community-based rehabilitation. Tell them that what they need is CBR. We have provision for CBR. And CBR is community-based rehabilitation, where they are lacking in terms of social amenities, in terms of standard of living, in terms of infrastructures, in terms of poor, in terms of food, in terms of water and sanitation, in terms of thinking the way education, lack of education, lack of health facilities, lack of being backwardness. What they need simply is community-based rehabilitation. And you refer them to what rehabilitation under CBR. And that is undertaken by the NGOs, it's also undertaken by the government. They have a responsible for that. What can be done for them is that we look at the multiplier effect. We call the multiplier effect of the displacement in that area to the community, and it be taken care of. I don't want to move back to that. I have seen your private chats, Her Excellency the Governor Elizabeth Obonga. Please take Precious Okpe in crystal and in clear terms that you cannot give me you take permission that your phone was down, so you went to charge your phone. It is not acceptable, and it's unacceptable to mom. Also remind her that yesterday she said she was going for school runs, that excuse is not taken, and is counted against her as part of the marks for the people that attended class yesterday. She have half marks, and the other one that is not public, it will not. For today that she's not, tell her, don't mind, don't dilute it. Don't dilute it. Make it very clear that, oh, this is what we don't take that. If every one of you, just like you are here with us, decide to say we want to charge our phone, we want to charge our laptops, we want to charge our computers. If I say I was charging my phone as well, we will not be here. In rehabilitation, tell her that we have what is known as adaptive rehabilitation, adaptive management, adaptation. You are able to adjust, you are able to adapt, you are able to look at mechanisms, you are looking into a way to do what we are expected to do at the appropriate time. So please tell her and deliver that message to her. Make sure you do to her. And tell whoever that is not in the class, for those that are not attending, they are thinking that, oh, they'll be doing, this is second semester, it will not be business as usual. By the time they think they are done with first semester, maybe when they come the other second semester, as for a core credit course and first of its kinds for this 702, it will not be business as usual. We go back to my friend Bashi Lawa Wunti. You asking in the chat box why we understand what we mean by the question before we come back to you, Doga. Doga, I see your hands up. Let's answer Bashi. We tackle those kind of questions we have here. Bashi, move to where we are moving to where we have that questions. And it was Stella that read the question yesterday. She's still in the class, and you are asking her how we want the assignment to be done or how it should be done. And I go back to Stella. Stella, please read that assignment for Bashi Lawangunti. He is confused and he's asking us when to submit. Read and explain to him and everybody.
Okay, sir. Hello, class. The assignment
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay. The assignment is to be submitted in 15 days' time, and it reads, discuss the social, economic, and cultural factors influencing disability, prevalence, and experiences in Nigeria. Number 2, critically analyze the role of preventive, restorative, supportive, palliative rehabilitation in promoting economic independence among rehabilitated individuals in the contemporary society. Deadline for the submission is 15 days from yesterday.
Bashir, is that clear?
Yes, sir, it's clear, sir.
Yeah, Bashir. Your question is answered now, ba?
Yes, sir.
By implication, we are left with 14 days. And, sir, the
thank you very much for that emphasis, Doga. Thank you very much for. In fact, I have pinned down from 15 days. Now, let me repeat myself again. I will not take this assignment, or it should not be accepted. My mail is configured at the times everything a day. After, if it is 12 a.m., the next day, if it's just 1 minute the other day, the other time I gave 10 days, I decided to give 15 days. It will not be taken. And I said due procedure should be followed. You do that assignment, you cut references, and you should use upper stand, American psychological style of references. I was clear about it. It should be done very well and in such a way, giving you 15 days. Just like Doga is reminding us, Japheth is reminding us, a day is gone. It's remaining 14 days from today. So take your time. More room for questions, for contribution, and before we move on the break. Yeah, Japheth, you have the floor. Yes, your hands is up.
Okay. My hand, the hand up here is indicating to contribute that as many of our mates, by afternoon, a time like this, used to have excuse. Instead of going out of the class by 1:30, to start going for school runs. May I seek the permission of the class, seek the support of the class that will continue the lecture to 1 and then exit for the day.
That is left for you to discuss, and your governor, the Elizabeth Obonga, is with you. If that decision is taken, she will be the one to communicate or leave this. That is to be democratic. It's not me that will take that decision for you. If that decision is within your members of the class, and I would advise you go with majority. We try to all of that. I'm available. If there's any questions, there's any contribution for the purpose of these lectures, for the purpose of any issues that you have, we'll be able to know. Yeah, Sophie, your hands is up.
So about the
Sophie, you
assignment, you said American
psychological upper system.
Can you hear me?
Association star upper. Upper is spelled as A,
okay.
P, A star
APA.
references.
Okay, sir. Noted. Thank you.
It's American Psychological Association Star Action. That is what is involved in. Yeah, Her Excellency Obonga, Elizabeth.
Yes, sir. On behalf of the class, I would like us to continue the class till 1, just to avoid the excuses from many of us. Using myself as an example. So I think the class continues, sir.
Okay. Okay. We want us to continue with the class so that we stop by 1. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't have issues with that. It's already just 11 months. So just like we're discussing on how we see we can be able to rehabilitate, use some rehabilitation measures to rehabilitate examples of the IDPs of the camps we have here. We begin to look at issues and some of the camps in Benue State. We have this as some of the unofficial camps in Benue here. And I go back to some of these camps. We have about 22 of these camps. And let me ask back to the governor. You say we should continue. The governor, you read the camps from 1 to 22. The number of camps. Read the number of camps we have, the names of the unofficial. Unofficial because this has not been, we got this information, look at the source. We are giving them the source of information. You must be able to, this is from SEMA. Benue is adopted from what we call State Emergency Management Agency 2021 and modified by the author. You read the number of camps. Sophia, your hands is still up. You want to say something, okay, Sophie? Yeah.
No, sir, it's the former hand. I've brought it down.
Okay, thank you, Sophie. Okay. Elizabeth Bunga, lead the name of the camps. Because I may decide to ask you that as a student of rehabilitation, you should name 5 camps. The size. Okay. Who can be able to lead that for us? Yep. Because I may decide that, oh, from what we are seeing here, for some of you, you should mention some camps and how you can be able to, yeah. Chidima, read the names of, oh, you cannot read some Benue name. You should be able to learn. Chidima, read these names for me.
Okay, let me zoom out and read Abagina community.
Abagina, okay, Chidima, go ahead.
Abeda camp.
Abeda camp.
Agan camp. Agan community.
Agan camp.
Yes, Agan community.
Yes.
Agatu.
Agatu.
Agwan. Yes.
Angwan Ochonum.
Yes. Anini village.
Okay.
Anyi community.
Anyi community.
Daudu community.
Daudu community.
PHA.
Federal housing.
Bajimba community.
Bajimba community.
Where West.
Where West. In Naka.
Yes.
Each one.
Kwande.
Kwande, you have a mom?
Nasme. Nasme.
LGA announcement.
Yes.
LGA announcement.
Yes. LGA. Yodu.
Chodu, yes.
NEPA quarters.
NEPA quarters.
Ogriajene.
Ogriajene. That's Sonobi. Opoku. Tionsha.
Ugba community.
The Ugba community. The reason why I need you to read all of that is that most of you will be embarking on research. And you are embarking on research, you need to give us update. If it's anything that is have to do with any of this, you will have to move to these camps. You will have to, go and be able to do all of that. You may have to do the basis. For most of you, if you're hearing of anything that has to do with IDP displacement or any of this, if it is in Plateau State, you will also know them. You will tell us, you give us the source of information, you tell us the number of people. That will enable you to be able to rehabilitate individuals. You'll be able to know the kind of challenges they have. We'll be able to help you to embark on some basic issues. So that is why we are able to engage you to be able to know most of this. If I ask you the total number of IDP that's in Benue here, another number schemes that most of you will not know. You are supposed to know the modified figure. You have these two official IDP camps. The official IDP camps, these ones are registered by SEMA. If you look at the source, it's SST Benue State Emergency Management Agency. And if you study advanced social standard in rehabilitation, and last semester you study, basically, we're talking about emergency and disasters management. And you are called upon, and they ask you that you are my student and to mention any camp. Mention about 5 camps of the internally displaced people in Benue, how they can be rehabilitated, and you don't know, it will be a slap on the face. It will be a slaps and offers on the Institute of Procurement, Environmental and Social Standards, as long as you took this course. So Chidima, go ahead and read the other camp again, the official camps.
Okay, the official camps.
Yes.
Abag camp, Dauda, camp 1, then Dauda, Bajin camp, and the local government.
From the official camp, as of 2021, mind you, this is 4 years ago. Now the question is back to you. How can we, what is the current number now? Who knows the current number as of 2024, the total number of camps in Benue? Sophie, you do know the total number of camps in Benue now? Hello, Sophia. Yeah, Obanga, Elizabeth. Who knows the total number of camps? Yeah. What is the total number of camps in Benue now?
So the total number of what?
IDPs, internally displaced camps in Benue now.
22.
No, this is of 20. The one we have here is as of look at the data. I'm talking about the current as of 2024. The one you know, this is the one that is documented. Says we're talking about the current one. As a student of advanced social standard rehabilitation, sometimes you need to be ahead. You need to be ahead of even the institute that know some of these things. Yeah, Bashi, how many of them do we have now? In Plateau, in Benue, in Borno, or where you know the total number of Bashi Lawa Agusti? Bashi, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm there, sir.
How many camps do we have now? How many do we have in Nigeria? Total number of camps and now?
Actually, sir, I don't know the number, sir.
What is the estimated number of population of people that have been displaced that we need rehabilitation in Nigeria? You don't also know the number?
Yes, sir, I don't know the number, sir.
That is an assignment for all of you, but this one is not to be submitted. You know the number of camps, the total number of camps. Tomorrow when we come in, at least one or two persons should be able to tell me one unofficial camps or one place where they are displaced persons, but it's not captured from the data we have here. There are many of them in any part of Nigeria. It could be in Niger, it could be in Nasarawa, it could be in Chibok, in Borno, it could be also be in any state of the Federation. It could be even in the East. You should at least know one or two. Tomorrow when we are discussing, you'll be able to tell us. The next is that we'll be looking at impact. The impact of displacement, the impact of this displacement on IDPs. What is actually the effect? What is the impact of this displacement? We did more of that. We will try to something you already know. The impact of displacement on the internally displaced person cannot be overemphasized. There are too many of these. The dislocation of people due to intermittent violence, not just intermittent violence, conflict, occasioned by the husband. Husband's attack is attacking from one way or the other. Bandits are attacking from one way or the other. If you move to Mbatula, from Mbatula in Katsina local government, if you move to places like Maji, if you move to places like Yoyo, if you move to places like Uyam, along Zaki Bam Sankara, area of Nukum, places like Logo, where you mentioned Nanyi, you move to places like Yoja. All of these other places like Agatu, when you move down to a Bagaji, more coming down towards even, move to even closest to our Ado, in Otonkon area, or axis. As student of the advanced social standard rehabilitations, you need to know the plight of the people, the difficulties and the challenges of all of that. All of Benue, except very few local governments, just about 2 or 3 that have not been attacked or have not been bedeviled with one crisis of the other. It's just, I think, Taka, Boko, and 1 or 2, or Shongo or so, Mwanvande Kadera about. Otherwise, the rest, if you talk about Conshisha, you talk about the OB1 or community crisis of Kwende is there, Katsina, Alau, Kumlogo, Guma, Agato, Watu, Gwe East, and all of that. The people that are scattered. And the impact this has is that it's kind of a negative impact. We have what we call homelessness. Most of these people are forceful ejection of the people from their home, due to the violent crisis or communal displacement. They have rendered them, some of them are in IDPs, some are not in IDPs, and they need rehabilitations because the poor condition of the housings in the camps, we just show you how the poor condition of the houses, reminding the IDPs of the need to return back to their ancestral homes, where we are. They are supposed to be back to their ancestral homes. That's it. We don't know. Let me go back to Joseph Odu, who has been on the field. Mr. Joseph Odu, what do you think can be done? Or when do you think these people can go back to their various homes so that they can be rehabilitated? Mr. Joseph Odu, are you there? Joseph Odu is not in the class again with us. Yeah, it's not in the class again with us. Okay. What Nai Joseph? What do you think can be done so that the people will return back to their camp, to ancestral homes?
Okay, sir. What I think can be done is after they are taught the skill acquisition, and also they go through some therapy, like some psychological session, and some of them that are part of their skills might require some financial assistance, so they can help to set up the business for them. And once that is done, and they have gone through this therapy, maybe for like a month or 3 months. So in the process of going through it, you will know those that have actually disconnected from the IDP camp, those that are willing to start up. You can actually see it when you are going through that session with them. And those that have learned those skills, their willingness to learn. So you start separating them and you start relocating them to their ancestral homes, because it's not automatic. It's not every one of them that would want to leave immediately. Some would have been impacted severely by this situation, and they don't see themselves like they can become something useful. So when you have separated them, those other sets, you need to work on them again until they start seeing value in themselves and the ability to learn has come up, and you would be able to like impact them and relocate them back to their ancestral home, and then provide a conducive environment, and then the security as well, because you need a good security to be there to protect them, because there might be an attack that will come back there. So, and those that want to go into farming and all that, the security aspect too has to be there to ensure when they are farming, their lives is secured and their crops and all that. Because some of those fear can still be in the inside of.
Thank you very much, Nai Joseph, for that wonderful contribution, for that robust and engaging contribution from you there. Doga Jaffet, we are discussing the impact of displacement on internally displaced persons, IDP. I crave your indulgence to read homelessness, leave that slide, that very PowerPoint slide from homelessness, and share your view or your opinion on what should be done to rehabilitate this kind of situation. Doga, Jaffet.
All right, sir. Homelessness. Good. The forceful ejection of people from their home due to the violent conflict that rendered the IDPs, internally displaced persons, homeless. Are helpless in the camps to return home, and they have frequently expressed their displeasure by asking
by the IDPs in Makurdi International Market camps in July 2025. When they protested against the deplorable condition of their camps, calling for their rehabilitation. Now, it seems you have network glitches there. And I'll move back to Chidima.
They are
okay, you are back.
To
okay, let me go back to Chidima. Chidima, what do you think of that? Why do you think the people were expressing their pleasure? And what do you think can be done to salvage that situation?
Okay, so what I think is, like earlier mentioned, security is a major incident. A lot of people may not really want to relocate back there because they are scared of the outcome of what they've experienced. So the trauma of it is making them scared. So I think that's one of the things I would really say might be the hindrance. Thank you, sir.
Okay. We talk about homelessness as one of the basics. Seeing is that what we blended the same. If you don't have a home, one thing about the basic things of life is shelter, food, and clothing. But you talk about shelter first, which is home. So the first thing, displacement in terms of rehabilitation is that when you render those people, we gave example that in July, that's July, just a month thereabout, you see that the people that were in the camps, they protested, most of them because of the shabby treatment, because of malnutrition. It was also reported about two women died there in the camps. And it was linked to most of them not having basic things, food and basic healthcare tips or being attended to. In basic impact of this, we see that the negative impacts on these people is enormous. Aside from the homelessness, you look at the kind of a depression they want, the kind of psychological trauma, which is written on their faces. You see that most of them think that, oh, this is how life can give us to us. They are hopeless. They cannot be able to sit and think to all of that. All we need to do is that to be students of advanced social standard in rehabilitation, we should be thinking on how we can be able to engage and how to advise, how to contribute our quota, how to also participate with one of those voluntary individuals, organizations, NGOs to better the lives of individuals. That's how it's been done. The impact of that displacement also, we will talk about what we call the impact of displacement on nutrition. You see that another impact of displacement is that the IDPs are war staffs. The staffs, most of those camps across Benue State, the rationale was we mentioned them because of limited availability. Even those that are available sometimes, they lack the necessary nutrients. You don't see that the nutrients are there, but leading to what we call malnutrition, especially in children. See that in children, consequently, you discover that babies who are nursing mothers often fall sick and then treated with what malnutrition related illness. You see a lot of children with kwashiorkor, a lot of children with scurvy, a lot of children with levies, or what we call as what you call them now, a lot of that has to do with wash sanitation. They're not well fed, not 3 square meals. Sometimes it's just based on carbohydrate in the morning, carbohydrate in the evening, carbohydrate for their dinner or for their brunch. You discover that most of the time some will not take their breakfast and lunch. It's what we call brunch. It's combined 00 or 2 1 1 1 1 and sometimes 1 0 1. And then that leads to the compounding the situation. We should be able to look towards what can be done, where you can be able to raise and be able to feed people properly. When you don't feed well, you don't sleep well. When you don't sleep well, you don't think well. When you don't think well, sickness comes. And when that comes, issues like cardiac arrest, diabetic health, that has an impact. That impact leads to reduction in the lifespan of those individuals. Your lifespan will be reduced, and you will not be able to talk about. You guys seems to be, I'm just trying to laugh at. You don't seem to be on lectures that we just take about 2 or 3 hours. It seems to be. Let's move to Dandy Amos now. Dandy Amos, do you read poverty? If you are there with us, if you are in this class, you read the lack of access. You're showing that you are still on poverty as one of the impact of displacement on IDP. Over to you, Dandy Amos.
Good afternoon. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dandy Amos.
Okay, you said I should read, right?
Read and explain.
Okay, sir. Lack of access to employment and inadequate sources of income has further compounded the worsening poverty level of the IDPs. Available reports show that this scenario.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The scenario creates the likelihood.
Sorry, the scenario creates the likelihood of poverty trap, a situation where states of poverty may tend to persist due to self-reinforcement mechanism known as various cycle of poverty, viscous cycle of poverty. This is because of the negative feedback that exists between poverty and a number of circumstances, such as undernourishment, lack of access to insurance, population growth, poor health, and created environments that cause poverty.
Thank you. So what do you think is the impact from what we read? You understand the impact of displacement on poverty?
Okay. Okay, this point explains...
When people are displaced, how does that lead to poverty? And
okay,
that we need rehabilitation.
And that's what I'm talking about. When people are displaced, moved away from the comfort places where their business activities are carried out, like Yellowwater to be precise, when these people were displaced, some of the businesswomen, the people who go into farm activities that generate income for themselves were displaced. They were moved out of that town. As such, when income is not generated, poverty is just like the viscous poverty of cycle, as you said. This talks about low productivity, low income poverty.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dandy Amos. You see that the perpetual or the vicious cycle of poverty is one of the basic issues that has a multiplier effect, is the issues of displacement of people. This not further lead to just poverty. The poverty exacerbates, leading to not just exacerbating to individual. It leads to a lot of dependency ratio. A lot of you people from you that you know that has been displaced, that needs, why some of you may need one rehabilitation of the other is was because of poverty of the others. People are dependent on you for you to feed them. Even as some of you are in school, some people are still depending on you to give them money, to give them assistance for food, for clothing, for basic things of life, and all of that. Talk less of those who have been displaced, that they are able to lose their access of employment. It could be farming. Most of people nowadays cannot be able to go to farm. It goes to the situation in Nigeria whereby you even want to farm, you may have to pay security. You see where some people have harvested crops and keep some things in the house. You see that the political herdsmen or wherever they come and destroy everything and cut them away or whisk them away. There's some of the issues that create a lot of issues. Then we'll talk about available report. It's a kind of trap that has perpetuated over some time, that's rendering a lot of issues. That's also another impact that we look into today, is that except we're able to solve this issue, we are able to rehabilitate these people. An injury to one is an injury to all. When we want to calculate the population or the purchasing parity, we have to take about the population of the economy, the GNP, the GDP, all of our population. So this kind of people, if you think because you are not affected, you are affected in one way or the other, you are highly affected, and then when you are affected, you will need to kind of the property, the multiplier effect of all of this has some we have on not just in the displaced in the community, but it will also have on other individuals. So the impact of this is enormous and must be looked into it. That is why advanced social standard in rehabilitation, we call for rehabilitation of those people, we call for rehabilitation of you yourselves, be it social rehabilitation, be it an economic rehabilitation, be it a kind of physical rehabilitation, be it a kind of emotional rehabilitations. And from here, this I hear every day class. This is when people are telling us that, oh, they don't have where to charge their phone for classes. It's a kind of economic or social, they need that kind of rehabilitation. You have to have, you not be giving, if they are actually true statement or what they are saying. They may need economic rehabilitation for them to have their generating sets in their house or have steady power supply or solar. They can be able to charge or have their gadget. In the area we have people who are still attending our lectures with phones and not even on laptops, it also could be a kind of an economic rehabilitation that we may need from time to time. So these are the kind of things we are talking about. And it affects us emotionally, it affects us mentally, it affects us trying to in one way or the other. When we talk about learning like this, rehabilitation has to do with issues that it's not a war college, school, or going to school to acquire more knowledge to help you to service that. It's not war. That's how I put it to you. That's why so some of us, we try to give you what we can give and tell you even everywhere what is even expected of you, left for you to swallow. But where you feel you cannot be able to swallow, that, oh, we need to come and swallow for you, that's left for study for another day. That one we don't know how it may be. Another part, another basic factor or the impact of displacement on the IEDPs is its high rate of crime. You discover that, oh, there has been an increased crime rate among due to the poor condition. Many of the IEDPs resorted to crime as a means of making living. Crimes such as armed robbery, people stealing their property, stealing what they have to eat, stealing those of other, theft, involved into thuggery. Apart from thuggery, we talk about issues like sexual violence, all of that. They are common among IDPs, and those some of those other crimes. And now let me put you to, we'll go back to class and arts. Let me go back to Stella. Stella, what are other kind of crimes that do we have in the IDPs that are impacting on the individuals? We just mentioned theft, mentioned robbery, or we mentioned thuggery. What are other forms of crimes do we have in people that are displaced?
Hello, sir.
Stella, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I didn't get the question.
We can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you, Stella.
I didn't get the question very well, sir.
What are the crimes, type of crimes that we have among IDPs or people that are displaced in one form or the other? What are the different kind of crimes do we have? You say this high rate of crimes as a result of displacement. So what are type of this crime that we have?
Okay.
Examples of those such kind of crimes.
Okay, we've already mentioned sexual abuse.
Mm.
We have mentioned theft already, sir.
Yeah, who can mention? There are many of them. We don't just swallow. We won't just call you, except they want to write for them. There are many of them. We want to more others to mention. This is a postgraduate class. Yeah,
trafficking, human trafficking of persons.
Yeah, human trafficking.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you just said.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sexually transmitted disease.
Yeah, that is not actually a kind of a crime like that. It's a kind of a causative measure. So we have many of them. we mention them? Yeah, now your hands is still up. Is it the old one? So this some of the money of these claims are available. Human trafficking, violence. We talk about theft. We talk about even other issues like enslavement. We talk about issues like sexual violence. We talk about protections and all of that. All of these needs are very important. There's also this what we call child labor, and that's what take us what we're discussing. That child labor is one of what we have. Those social conditions in the IDPs, what they have that they are following homes and subsequent alienation. It has become a common pattern in Benue, in Plateau State, in Cross River, some part of Taraba, Adamawa, even in some other that. When you're looking for people to work on the farm, people that you can use them as second-handed people that you can use as, say, go to IDP now. Go to those IDP. Go and pick children on all of that. Then there's been common to go and work on the farm instead of all of that. It's a kind of a negative impact. Alienation from the primary occupation. Usually farming has further worsened their economic woes. It is in all of these that in the pitch, but to provide the needs. The family of such kind of people, IDP comes are forced to work. They force the children that not only work, they feed themselves. They will sometimes they're just left like that to take care of themselves as part of family upkeep. When you look at upkeep and all of that, they do all that you try to. Most of these children are below 18. Not under the definition of all. They're below 18. So you discover that, oh, that should be how it should be. And they're working on them. They engage in activities in petty trading. Some of them are the one busy selling a lot of granite on the street, running errands for members of the host community. Can be sending them to run errands for them with the meager wages, sometimes just for them to eat. Exchange of labor for food. These people pose the kind of society, they pose the kind of trade in the society, the concerns of the children for further expose sexual abuses and molestation. In all of this kind of situation, we need to make sure all that we need to do, which is that to reduce other kind of, what are other impact of displacement apart from the crimes and the sort of that? Japhet Doga.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Japhet, what are the other impacts of displacement apart from we were mentioned?
Yeah, the impacts of displacement may be negative and positive.
Yes, very good.
On the negative side, I want to talk on the negative side first and foremost. The negative side is that people lost their means of livelihood and they are exposed to a strenuous way of life that they are meant to, if not for the attention of civil society organization and non-governmental organization and a caring government, then they are lost. Even our life, they are dead. They are living dead. Because if you have no house where to stay, a shelter is not provided by you in the course of an insurgent that leads to inferno, and your houses are burned, everything, you're running out of your comfort zone just with your life. So where you're heading to, you don't even know. So if a government does not intervene, these people are, as earlier said, they are considered living dead. Because one, you think of the trauma before you get yourself restored and you start thinking normal. To feel that you can eat is another thing. So the positive
then we look at the positive impact of displacement, which is not there.
Yes.
The positive impact of displacement is that there are new opportunities. You discover that when you have this kind of displacement can lead to new opportunities. These opportunities, you will discover that, they can be a kind of education, a kind of employment, a kind of personal growth. You have a kind of interaction that you have never had it before. Those kind of can be able to help you to do very well. There are often a lot of opportunity In a developed society, most time people are really looking for displacement, a kind of this negative impact, so that they could get one we call grade A rehabilitation. There's also this kind of cultural exchange. When people are displaced sometimes, you see them moving from one place, understanding the appreciation, different perspective. Imagine some people, you can move from a certain places from Yerewata back to Makodi. Apart from another opportunity is that it could be a team speaking community. It could be an Idomiti community. But when they come to the camps, they're able to learn from different people, different culture, they exchange, and all of that. So we will call that kind of thing a kind of an impact. There's also this kind of resilience and adaptability. They can foster resilience, capacity to cope in situations, and be able to do, and including personal growth. Yeah, Nai, your hands is up. Nai Joseph. Yeah, Dog, your hands is up. Is it the old one?
Yeah, no, it's now. They contribute. I have to. On the positive side, I want to contribute as well. Where people have, my contribution is this: where people have suffered on communal crisis, in some instance when they are to be resettled in their places, like the settlement in Nasarawa State along Kiana, when they suffered that crisis and they were about to return to their ancestral home, the government said they are spread settlement, the scattered settlement. If intervention is needed, a swift action is needed. If a police station is to be stationed somewhere, it will not adequately take care of the security of that place. But if they have resettled in a settlement that is not spread, not scattered, leaving their particular ancestral home to settle in a semi-satellite environment within that location, that all houses will be there, and other places which are meant to be their original ancestral home becomes their farmstead. They leave that place like a camp. They still reside in a place like a camp. And you're not residing that you're from you're in Makodi, you're from Agan, and then somebody like in Makodi here, the settlements, the major settlement here, we have the Bagwen, the Nyev, and Bawa. Whether you're from each of any of this extraction, you are affected by a crisis, and then they are looking for a solution that you'll be protected, so as when such instance is to resurface, government has provided measures that they will curtail that. Even if it happens, the quantum of it will not be recorded as what happened in the past. So with this, it is an advantage that the resettlement, as they resettle in a places that looks like camp, they
So just like we're saying, we're mentioning, we have a lot of positive impact of displacement. Another one positive impact is new skill acquisition. For people that are displaced, one of the impacts is that they could acquire new skills. And so skills are very useful. The one we are talking about. Assuming that some people that will give, I always give example of Yerewata, because they have the new one that recently happened. You see that people that move from Hitato from the farm, they can be brought to learn new skills. Under in developed society, if you are displaced, most time, oh, that is a saving grace for you. For new professional skills, you could learn longer skills, take to other places where you can be able to learn to speak fluently, languages and all of other. You can read about indigenous cultures of other persons, indigenous knowledge of other people, and you can also be rehabilitated with other skills. Another positive impact is empowerment. In the course of displacement, One of the positive impacts is that empowerment. You can be empowered by individuals, humanitarian agency, even in other government agencies aside from government. Displacement can empower an individual and create a new life. That keeping in mind that the impact can be very poor. You discover that in the course of publication, in the course of making sure the information is passed across, making all of this available, you see most of the time you discover for very sure that this empowerment has taken place. You see where we use the use of escalators like the Okankurus, the Okwandes, and all of that. One information you just see on the social media, be it Facebook, Instagram, or maybe you don't do Instagram and LinkedIn, mostly it's Facebook. You see all of that, and then information they take over of just like the issues of all this kind of very dark man, VDM, Vincent would say, escalating the issues and making sure that you get assistance internationally. That has taken us to where we are coming to an end for the lectures for today. But let's give room for some questions. We'll give room for some comments. We give room for contribution. Remember, my phone number is there. My email is there. If you cannot be able to do, we all can also have the opportunity in the chat box here. So please, if you have any questions to ask, don't hesitate. Ranging from what we have, Obonga is still in the class. We are waiting for your class. Stella is still around. Bashi is still around. We can see you. We can see Danny Amos, Kwazan Sophia, all of you that are available. Let's have your questions before we call it a day for today to be continued tomorrow. If you want to speak, please raise up your hand, or you can chat us in the chat box and we'll be able to attend to you effectively. Over to you, the class. It is silent everywhere. No question, no comments, no contributions. Elizabeth Obonga.
Yes, sir. At my end, no questions, sir.
Okay, because if you don't ask my own, me, I can always easily ask. Remember, Elizabeth Obonga, announce our assignment. What did we say about our assignment?
You talked about the mode of submission, and it should be submitted between
How many days?
15 days, and we are left with 14 days. I've already notified my classmates by telling them the date we are, that is the deadline. I told them 6th of October.
You're right. I've recorded it in my dictionary, my oblongata, my diary, and everything.
Yes.
All of that. Yeah. If there's no other thing, we thank you for the day. God bless you all, and you have a nice day. We'll see you tomorrow as we continue.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. God bless
you, sir.
Thank you.
Class, please let everyone know that the lectures are ongoing. Whoever that is not in class, call them to join us tomorrow, please. I've already dropped some messages for us on the group. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. You're welcome, man.